Hi.
Welcome to the 3026 Breakdown. My name is Jon Lee. With Thanksgiving having just passed and the holiday season upon us, I wanted to take some time to show some appreciation and respect for someone all combat sports fans should be thankful for: UFC champion Demetrious Johnson. With Conor McGregor now holding two belts and Jon Jones on his way back from suspension for quote unquote pungent dick pells, many MMA fans have forgotten that Demetrious Johnson just did this to Henry Cejudo back at UFC 197. So to jog your memories and to get everyone excited for the Tough 24 finale Tournament of Champions, where he'll take on Tim Elliott and I'll be screaming in the crowd, I present 7 reasons I am thankful for Demetrious Johnson this holiday season. Number 1, 8 title defenses and counting. That's 2 less than Anderson Silva's record, and he'll tie George St. Pierre if he defeats Tim Elliott this weekend. I wanted to say when, but there's always a chance. That's pretty amazing considering that he's the only flyweight champion the UFC's ever had, and the division's only been around for a few years. Demetrious has been absolutely unbeatable, and he's clearly the best 125-pounder in the world. Number 2, he's undefeated at flyweight, and he's not the guy everyone thought would be champion. That's Joseph Benavidez, who he's now beaten twice, the second time pretty definitively. That brings us to number 3. He's 3-0 in rematches. He knocked out Benavidez in their rematch. He blew John Dodson out of the water in their rematch, including my favorite Demetrious Johnson moment of all time, when Dodson kicked him low and John McCarthy tried to step in between them, looking like a giant with those two flyweights, and Demetrious told him, "No breaks, get out of the way." He didn't even want to break because he was putting the pace on Dodson and beating him up. And he went to a tie with Ian McCall in a fight he probably should have won, and then beat the brakes off McCall in the rematch. So Demetrious gets better the second time you fight him, which makes Dominic Cruz a little nervous if he has to think about fighting Demetrious down the road in a super fight, or should. Number 4, he's got 5 finishes in his last 7 fights, including the latest finish in UFC history when he finished Horiguchi with 1 second remaining in the last round of their 5-round championship fight. He finishes guys. 5 out of 7 finishes in championship fights is legendary. That's like Anderson Silva status. Number 5, he's on a 9-fight win streak, and that's only his second longest win streak of his career because he had a 10-fight win streak to begin his career. So he's had a 9-fight win streak and a 10-fight win streak. His last loss was to Dominic Cruz, a surefire Hall of Famer, and since then he's gone 9-0-1, with the only blemish being that tie with McCall, which he then righted very vigorously in their rematch. In fact, Demetrious' only 2 losses are to Cruz and to Brad Pickett in his WEC debut when he was still just a part-time fighter and working a full-time job. That 10-0 win streak that I talked about that began his career earlier, that came as a part-time fighter with a full-time job. That's pretty impressive. Number 6, he's got the best overall MMA skill set. I hate going pound for pound or anything like that, but I think if you look at every fighter's skill set, his is the most complete. Demetrious is well-rounded. He has equally good striking, wrestling, submissions, great defense, incredible fight IQ. He makes in-fight adjustments, like in the first Dodson fight when he went to the clinch, better than almost anybody. And he's also an incredible athlete. In short, he's just kind of got the works, the full car wash package, as Bill Simmons used to write when he was talking about LeBron back when he wrote columns and wasn't terrible. And finally, despite what the MMA media continues to trot out there, he has personality. Listen to him talk about fighter pay. He said he can't retire despite the fact he's a dominant champion. That's pretty interesting. He's pretty fiery. The whole lead up to the John Dodson fight was amazing. He threw incredible shade at John Dodson after the fight, and then got on the microphone and talked about how after a 5-round fight, he's pretty as a motherfucker. Demetrious Johnson is awesome. Watch him on the Twitch video games. There's a reason he has a big following. He has a good personality. He's interesting. He's funny. I think he's super interesting. I think we just need to stop saying he's not interesting, and that would take care of a lot of that problem. So, in conclusion, I'd like to quote the great philosopher Kanye West, who in the song Big Brother about Jay-Z wrote, "If you admire someone, you should go ahead and tell them. No one ever gets the flowers while they can still smell them." So, hopefully, this holiday season, we can take some time and attention away from Ronda and McGregor, who are great, and all the other big personalities we have in the UFC, and show some much needed appreciation for the best fighter alive, Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson.